Yeah, welcome to our monthly demo roundup. This month we are doing scale support teams with PagerDuty's CX operations solutions. I'm Mandy Walls. I'm a DevOps advocate here at PagerDuty. If you ever have any questions or want to reach out to us, our team is community-team@pagerduty.com, and we'd love to hear from you. So with me today, I've got Michael and Nadia. Michael, introduce yourself to the folks.
Sure thing. Thank you, Mandy. Hello, folks. My name is Michael Aravopoulos, and I am a solution consultant here at PagerDuty. I typically work in the sales department, working with account executives, helping them to deliver the value and messaging of PagerDuty on a technical level, answering technical questions, and showing what the value is of PagerDuty overall as a whole.
Awesome. And Nadia, welcome.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, I'm Nadia. I'm a solutions consultant here at PagerDuty as well. And Michael's my colleague, and we do a lot of the same. So we operate as the technical resource in supporting our sales folks. And I've been here at PagerDuty for a little bit over 5 years.
Excellent. All right. For folks who are joining us live on LinkedIn, if we get that working, you can leave a comment there. We'll be able to see it, and you can ask questions. For folks joining us on the Zoom, you can use the Q&A function there to ask us questions. And if you're viewing this later as a recording and you have questions, you want to reach out, again, our email is community-team@pagerduty.com, and we will route your question to the appropriate folks. So with that said, let's kick it off.
Mandy, thank you. Hello, everyone. In this session, we'll go over our approach to high-quality customer care that is proactive, responsive to customer and IT signals, and able to scale customer service and IT support teams to address issues efficiently and provide the necessary communications to keep people informed of what's happening. Customers are often the ones who detect service performance issues, and they usually do that first, but they face challenges escalating to customer service and IT support. So PagerDuty's customer experience operations solution offers an effective way to approach this. So let's get into it. What we're seeing today is that more than ever, customer service needs to adapt to the changing needs and demands of consumers as well as online business models. Customer service teams often lack the visibility into what's going on because they are working across many disconnected tool sets and platforms. Teams are tasked to do more with less while providing that 24/7 support and working in a remote and a distributed model. And organizations are operating in a reactive mode rather than getting ahead of customer issues proactively and reaching out to those impacted customers. So regardless of how good monitoring and observability tools are, there's an understanding that the majority of companies are still learning about customer impacting disruptions directly from them. And as such, customers need to be viewed as a key signal to the health of an organization's digital assets. And customer service organizations need to be empowered to engage with the right teams and in real time to service high priority customer impacting disruptions. And based on hundreds of conversations with our customers, we found that customer service teams oftentimes are siloed from their respective technical teams, with collaboration problems exacerbated by the very systems that they're supposed to be helping with. Now, while many back-end engineering teams have figured out that they could use PagerDuty as a real-time operations platform, customer service unintentionally remains siloed off. With a wall of different tools and systems standing in the way of getting the right help and information to the right teams, we have a situation. And here's what the typical process might look like. A customer case or ticket is entered in a help desk system like a Zendesk or a Salesforce. A customer service agent has to context switch into a chat ops tool like Slack or Microsoft Teams to either ask in a channel, or a specific people within that channel who is aware of this customer impacting problem. If not, customer service may need to navigate to a separate wiki or even a spreadsheet, directories that show them who's responsible for specific services, who might be on call, contact information, that might even be out of date and unattainable and unable to get access to those folks. And for tracking purposes, the customer service agent may need to go into a Jira ticketing system to log a ticket for a fix. And then the entire time, the progress of the ticket isn't visible, and that customer service agent needs to switch between their help desk and the chat ops tool to get the updates, and so on and so on. Metrics on both sides, of course, are going to be heavily impacted. Customer service sees the impact in customer satisfaction, response times, and resolution times on their cases and their tickets. And incident response teams are impacted by a slower mean time to acknowledge and a slower mean time to resolve, and maybe frequently getting pinged by customer service representatives while they are heads down focused on fixing the problem. Now, our approach to bettering this situation is to use PagerDuty as a central system to the entire tech stack and different teams. Communications and collaboration is streamlined and optimized for a business to run in real time through two-way collaboration and information flow. With an integrated tool stack, you can then drive efficiency at scale with streamlined workflows that allows all teams to essentially work from where they want to. And whether that be in the help desk ticketing system or a chat ops tool like Slack or MS Teams, or even in PagerDuty, that can be done. The big picture is, what we want to consider is the removal of those walls of communication between customer service and the back-end incident response team and engineering teams when there's a need to work in real time to resolve a customer impacting disruption. We want to empower customer service with the visibility that they need to solve customer problems faster and to protect engineering resources from managing updates and communications that customer service needs, while at the same time getting more visibility into how the system is impacting the front lines. And with PagerDuty, teams can set up 24/7 after-hours support at a fraction of the cost to keep a fully staffed solution by agents on call. Teams use PagerDuty to increase coverage overnight and on weekends while keeping costs low. And larger enterprise companies, what we've seen with the resources that they have to staff a follow-the-sun model, what we found is that they can use this 24/7 alerting and notification capability to staff subject matter experts with specific skill sets on an on-call rotation. And we can set up business rules to escalate urgent cases or tickets, such as those that are about to breach a service level agreement or tickets from VIP customers. With PagerDuty, teams can understand the blast radius of a customer impacting issue and deliver the right notifications to both internal and external customers, keeping them in the loop and up to date. And customer service teams can maintain ownership, very important, of the case lifecycle, even when communications with back-end incident response and engineering teams is involved. They can be the leaders. This reduces that first response time and ticket resolution times by reducing significantly the time it takes for customer service agent to reach those back-end support issues, as well as the time that it takes for communications with different teams for updates that they need to get to stay in the loop. A lot of good information there. Now, PagerDuty will drive better customer experience at scale by giving the right teams, as we said, with the visibility into incidents, regardless of where they work, reducing the need for headcount as the business grows. Efficiencies are going to increase with streamlined and optimized workflows so that customer service and back-end incident response teams and engineering can communicate and collaborate better together on customer impacting disruptions. And with a proactive service experience, an organization has the opportunity for growth with reduced churn and an enhanced customer experience. Now, speaking of customer experience, folks, we just got introduced to one of my colleagues, that is Nadia Simmons. Nadia has previous experience of working and leading customer service teams here at PagerDuty, and she's going to spend a few minutes giving her perspective on the positive impact of PagerDuty customer experience operations. Nadia, with that brief introduction, I'd like to ask you, when you previously managed our global support team, What was your experience being frontline for customer support during a major incident while leveraging the PagerDuty CSOps functionality?
Yeah, that's a great question, Michael. And you're exactly right. We are frontline with customers when issues arise. And we're typically the first point of contact when a customer is experiencing an issue that may be due to an outage. This also means that we can operate as a liaison between our engineering teams and our customers. And when you're having an outage, every minute counts and communication is vital. So being frontline, it's important, and like you mentioned, it's important to understand the blast radius in regards to how many customers are impacted, the scope of the features or functionality that may be affected. So by leveraging the CSOps PagerDuty features and functionality, we can more seamlessly and efficiently link those cases to PagerDuty incidents to help express the impact, add notes with pertinent information for responders, and also receive those timely updates for our customers. And like you mentioned, all of this can be done within the ticketing tool. So it really eliminates the need for support agents to tool hop or reach out for assistance in a multitude of places, allowing for a more seamless and better customer experience and really limiting the toil that can be felt by everyone during a major incident.
Very cool. Nadia, thanks so much for that perspective. It's actually leading into many of the things that we want to actually go through in the demo itself. Mandy, we're in a position to actually do that, and I just want to make sure we're good to transition into that part of our conversation that we want to live stream with the folks.
Yes, please. We love a demo, so excited to see all
Demo
this.
is awesome. It's if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a movie is probably worth 1,000,000.
Absolutely.
Okay, fantastic. So into the demo now. We want to take everyone through the story of how PagerDuty customer experience operations helps. But before we get into the demo, I want to put out a disclaimer that this example that we're going to go through is entirely fictitious. It does not represent a live production instance in any way, shape, or form. So that being said, our customer, our users, they're going to come to the web page and they're going to sign in to the customer portal. And in doing so, they get this undesirable error message. As a customer, a situation like this might prompt me to connect with the company's customer service team because at the moment, from what we can see here, I'm unable to log into and conduct any of my business on the account of this website. I might call them directly, fill out an online form, or send an email in order to create a case or a ticket so that the situation can be properly tracked. And I have the expectation of getting a timely and top-notch customer support experience from my vendor. So folks, let me introduce you to Michael, the customer service agent. And as such a person, I work out of Salesforce Service Cloud, for example. Just one of the many help desk platforms that PagerDuty has out-of-the-box integrations with. And I have filled out all the required information about the problem that my customer has outlined, and I want to rapidly accelerate the timely resolution of this issue. So now that my case has all the details that are needed, I will save it. There. And done. Okay. Now, folks, here's another introduction that we'll make right now. And that happens to be Nadia. And she is the on-call responder who is on call at the moment and is available and is aligned to supporting customer service when problems occur with PagerDuty's event-driven, people-centric, and automation-first capabilities. So right now, she's getting notified by PagerDuty with a phone call, with a text message, and she can also receive an email or a Slack message or a push notification to an iPhone or Android device. And it's going to notify Nadia again if she's unable to take an immediate action on the incident. But if she still can't take ownership of the problem, it will automatically escalate to a backup responder to ensure that things don't fall through and go unattended. Now, what does this mean for Michael, the customer service agent right now? Well, in Salesforce, there is a PagerDuty incident section and a tab. And there's and when I refresh my screen here, I see immediate information about the incident that has now been linked to the case that was just created. I now have the same context as the on-call response team. With the two-way integration between PagerDuty and the case management system, Michael sees all the information about the incident. There's someone who's been assigned to it. There's an urgency and a priority that's been classified as a result of this being processed by PagerDuty. And I also know that someone has taken ownership of the incident from the status here showing as acknowledged. I don't have to track things down. I don't have to go into Slack channels. I don't have to bring up like a Google Meet or a MS Teams session and invite people in order to figure this all out. It's all here for me. And there's more information that really helps Michael as a customer service agent. For example, here in the incident timeline, I can see a chronological event stream of everything that's taken place, who's involved, what action they've performed, and so on. I know that there's an effort that's being taken to move this incident, this case, into resolution. And below that, I also see that there are notes that have been provided to me by PagerDuty from the on-call responders and other forms of information as well. And information like this can be very helpful as I connect with customers attached to this case to keep me updated of what's happening. So there's substantial time savings and less frustration amongst our customers. Now, the integration has a status dashboard that quickly helps customer service agents like me. Let's get to it right here. That quickly helps customer service agents like me further understand the impact to our lines of business. We know that there's a customer portal related issue. I can see that here, the line of business that's associated with it and the incidents associated with this particular line of business identified here in PagerDuty. I beg your pardon, identified here inside Salesforce Service Cloud with the PagerDuty integration is what we're looking to say here. So it's really providing me that visibility and improved awareness of these operational issues. So from the onset of this issue, PagerDuty has driven automation. It's provided details to customer service, and they no longer feel isolated as they work through this customer issue. Now, Michael, he's a tech savvy person, right? And he wants to be able to help out. And there's information like this that can help him. And those who are working on the problem as well to get a step ahead. So he too can provide actionable suggestions as they work through this customer issue. Now, as this issue is potentially becoming more and more widespread, as new cases emerge and other fellow customer service agents begin dealing with similar situations as well, we can help drive the urgency of this situation by taking action directly in Salesforce. So for example, I'm going to add a note to this. Take the appropriate information here, and within within Salesforce Service Cloud, we can add a note. And that descriptive information is now embodied within the incident information listed here. See it right there. And what I'm also going to do, just given the priority of this situation, we're going to change the priority from a SEV 2 to a SEV 1. Again, we're seeing here from a customer service agent point of view, us driving that form of action, directly having impact against the incident at hand that's related to this case. Okay, so we've adjusted the severity to that to a SEV 1. Now, these actions and inputs, they're going to drive further automation from PagerDuty. A workflow has automatically been executed and has done several things for us. We've added precise expertise to help with the ongoing investigation. We've automatically run additional deeper diagnostic automation to give those individuals the information they need to take the next set of actions and steps towards resolution. Also, and let's note that as well. So when we refresh our notes section, we start to see the results of that additional diagnostic information that these workflows have provided for us as a result of executing the appropriate runbooks. And this is all updated within the incident timeline that we saw a moment ago. Now, in addition to that, these workflows, what they've done for us is that they've notified internal stakeholders to keep them apprised of what's actually taking place so that they're not caught off guard as the situation progresses. And again, Michael, the customer service agent, can see all that information appropriately synchronized directly within his case and has full visibility into everything that's happening. And he's also driving some of these actions directly from within the case management system. And in addition to this, the incident response team also now has a chat ops channel for their own collaboration. In other words, the strike team is now fully engaged, which was actioned by customer service and is fully in sync with everything that's taking place. Now, we said here more cases are being created as this situation is becoming perhaps more and more pervasive, and perhaps other customer service agents are finding themselves aligning and undertaking efforts for the situation at hand. And we can see, for example, another case that is being created. And there's various ways that we know that these cases can be created. And as such, when they are saved and brought into the system, another customer support agent, let's say in this case here, it might be Mandy, who is also part of the team, has also now have an opportunity to look at a case and see if there's a way to connect this with what is currently transpiring. And again, immediately, a customer service agent can look at the status dashboard and recognize, for example, that once again, we do have a customer portal line of business that's been impacted, very similar to the case that's just been opened and now being serviced by Mandy. She can come over here and look at the customer portal line of business, open this up and realize that there is an existing incident that is being tracked and managed by PagerDuty, that she has an opportunity to link herself directly by a couple of set of actions right here. And once that link has been established, this customer support agent also has the exact information available to them. And they can also contribute to the case moving it forward as well. So as the cases, as they begin to pile up and the blast radius is expanding, it doesn't go unnoticed by the on-call response team. Back in the PagerDuty incident, which we can click on and get to straight away, we can actually see the two cases that are now linked to it, and hovering over and clicking on it will provide that information to our on-call response team. And now they know the criticality of the situation as it's expanding and getting larger and larger across a broader region within our area. And they can add a note to the incident so that everyone linked to it knows that it is a priority for them. The incident response team is also going to update the external status page so that other customers understand the situation and not introduce a flood of new cases to overburden our customer service team. So we can come over here to the external status page and create an appropriate update for those folks, providing a message as needed, posting an update that can be templatized for easy distribution and delivered to the right line of business in the form of an outage that's major or something else, and provide that update. And we can go to our status page and see the result of that. Why is this important? We talked about it just briefly a second ago. To lessen the burden of customer service people that might be managing multiple similar cases. Customers can subscribe to these status pages, and you can see from over here, and as such, receive email notifications from PagerDuty's status page about what is actually transpiring. This is a message they can receive right here, as was posted by our on-call response team. Also, having the URL available to them as a publicly available status page, any person can come here who's a customer or whoever and look at the information that is associated with what's actually taking place. With a few quick steps, Nadia, as we saw here, and the response team has sent out the updates to other customers through the status page, and now they are too kept informed on the situation and how it's progressing. Nadia is going to continue her investigation, and going back into the PagerDuty incident from her perspective, see something that really catches her attention from the context that PagerDuty has provided. There's a change event that's also been tracked and is giving her the evidence as this being the potential cause of the issue. A recent upgrade that was implemented, but perhaps went unchecked. And in light of the recent global events that significantly impacted many businesses the last several days, information like this is crucial. Now the team has, in Slack, for example, been diligently working in the situation, as this is their platform where they like to do their work. So PagerDuty's two-way integration with Slack has synchronized all this information, and with collaborative efforts, the team has determined that a rollback remediation will put things back on track into a steady state. And if that rollback perhaps also fails, can still get notification for that as well. So they can take the action in accordance to that precisely within a ChatOps tool like Slack. So coming over here in our Slack environment, we can see a channel that's been created, and the exact customer cannot log into the portal incident is now reflected and synchronized with all the information that's transpired. So this team has a perfect understanding of what's happening, and they can drive their incident remediation actions directly from within Slack. Well, they'll attempt to do a remediation flow to roll things back in a previous state, and upon success, we'll be able to close out the incident, or if things don't work out the way that they wanted to, they can continue to work on the issue at hand. The information here will be provided, the results, but what does this mean now back to Michael, the customer service agent? Well, from this synchronization across these systems being managed by PagerDuty, back over on the case that Michael has been working on, looking at the notes that have been provided, refreshing the output of what's there, we can see, for example, gosh darn, the service restart action has failed. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it was successful. And as a result, things are back online. The key thing to take out of this is that the information that's being provided gets back to customer service agents so they can take the appropriate next forms of communications with our customers. Again, for the sake of argument, we'll say that this actually worked rather well and it resolved the entire situation. So Michael, the customer service agent, is a happy person, because what that means for him and everyone else who's also in customer service agent working on similar issues, their customers are also going to be happy, because what we can do now is we can resolve the incident if we want to, straight here from Salesforce Service Cloud, provide the appropriate note information. We're going to say here that the remediation actually worked okay, and that's all right. We'll enter that information so that there is some summation around what took place here. And then we could take the appropriate course of action in terms of information conveyance over to our customers. However we go about that within our protocols of case management. We deliver a message via phone call or an email, Slack them the information, whatever the case might be. We can deliver that form of information, letting them know that we've solved the issue, and we have the backing of our incident response team and all the information that is associated with the incident here, so that Michael and all corresponding other customer service agents can do the same. Resolve, save, and we're in a situation right now where things are back on track. So folks, to summarize, PagerDuty's customer service experience for operations will bring teams together to service the customer with the event-driven automation and people-centric actions that we can deliver from our case management system. This way, you're going to maximize your customers' confidence and trust in your brand of business. Mandy, this is what we wanted to go over with the team, and concludes the presentation and demonstration that we wanted to provide.
Excellent. There's so much going on here. Oh my goodness. Like, this is a very powerful set of integrations between these two main components, and then the addition of Slack. Like, that's a whole other discussion that we'll have at some point, but plenty of things going on there. I have one question. So when we add an incident to a case in the case management system, that action doesn't get noted in the incident itself on PagerDuty, right? Like there's a lot of two-way things here with the notes and other actions and things like that. But like if I want to say I've added big customer XYZ to this incident case, that doesn't get noted on the PagerDuty side, right?
It actually does, Mandy. We touched upon it when we were going to look at things from a PagerDuty incident perspective. I can backtrack to it just for a quick
See
moment.
that again.
We can see, for example, that there were two service
Excellent.
cases that were linked, that when you hover over them, you can see exactly which ones they are. And of course, the ability to switch context and go directly into those cases and see all the information about it from the standpoint of a customer service agent. So it is listed there. They are linked together, and they are available for anyone who is on an on-call responder to be able to notice. And we took action based on that notification. Important customers had an issue, and it mobilized the team to take a corresponding set of actions to really move things forward.
Absolutely. That's super helpful then in your post-incident reviews. You're able to say, we found this, it was found by this particular customer. Here's how we remediated. Here's how we handled all that kind of stuff. So, super important for our VIPs and everyone else.
No doubt. We want to keep those folks well satisfied when it comes to issues.
We want everyone happy. Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is super great. Like the ability for everyone to sort of have a full view from the interface that they kind of use natively is, I think, super helpful for everyone to like avoid getting confused, because the last thing you want to be doing during an incident is like flipping around and you're not sure where things are. You can't find what you need in the interfaces. So I hope folks find this very helpful, when they're under stress, when things are going wrong, that they're working in the interfaces that they're used to.
Of course, and that brings up a great point, Mandy. The opportunity to keep yourself grounded in a system that you're comfortable with. We took two parallels, or two simultaneous paths of this example. One was from the perspective of the customer service agent, and that was me in this case. And I was driving everything from the actual case management system, linking incidents, checking the statuses, being able to add my perspective, initiate even workflows from PagerDuty, being a solid contributor towards the incident management lifecycle. And at the same time, there are the more, let's say, technical people that deal with the implications of what happens to a particular service that's been impacted, that work on the back end, so to speak, and how that all gets tied together. So the idea was to show how the work is, while in parallel, still converges to the type of end result that we're all looking for. And that's efficiency and helping the customer get back on track in their situation.
Absolutely. This has been great. I've seen the some of the stuff from the PagerDuty side. I hadn't seen the full view from the case management side recently. So it was really nice to see all of this again with all the new features and things that are in there. It's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to share that with the folks who are able to attend the live stream. And hopefully it's piqued people's curiosity. I mean, we love it when people are curious and want to know more, because that also makes us curious. Folks like myself and Nadia, we love to hear things that get people interested in wanting to know more, because it makes us want to know more about what they're trying to accomplish too.
Yeah, definitely. So if anyone out there wants to try this out, if you're already a PagerDuty customer, give a shout out to your account team and they can hook you up with an additional demo and some stuff there. And if you are looking at PagerDuty, you want to sign up, you can do pagerduty.com/sign-up and sign up for a trial there and kick the tires around and see what you think. So we will be at Dreamforce in San Francisco. We will have a booth. We have a couple of stations, I think, at Dreamforce this year. We'll have a regular sized booth, and we have another, I think, info kiosk. So find us there. We'll have our usual giveaways, and there'll be folks on the floor to give demos similar to what we saw tonight. So you can get a closer look at it, ask questions, poke it around, and give it a good old kick of the tires there. So yeah, and thank you so much for being here tonight. And like I mentioned at the top of the stream, if you have any questions, not sure who to ask, you can always ask our team or community-team@pagerduty.com, and we will get your questions to the right place. We are going to reboot our forums soon, so keep an eye out for that, which is another place you'll be able to find us. So we are always here to help, and we're happy to chat with anybody who's got questions about PagerDuty. So, all right. I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody out there, for listening and watching. And we'll be back again with another demo next month. And in the meantime, we'll wish everybody an uneventful day.
Bye, folks.